Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another segment of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with today's tech expert, but we want to give a shout out to our partners, Vital Signs Wall of Fame, We Coach, the global community of women in high school sports, and the Florida Coaches Coalition. You've heard me mention many times these are four great organizations. You should add them to your network. And now don't hit that fast forward button. Stay with us for the next 3 minutes. We're going to give our sponsors a shout out. These are all companies that I've used as an AD or as a coach. You should be using them too. Here we go. We want to say thanks to Home Campus for their support of the podcast. Home Campus is our exclusive high school and state association management platform, and it's your one stop for scheduling, student athlete eligibility and clearance, and a whole lot more. I used Home Campus every single day as an athletic director, and it was just great. The Home Campus staff was great to work with too. To find out more about how you can get started with Home Campus, just go to homecampus.com. That's homecampus.com. I promise you, you will be very impressed. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to huddle.com, change the way you see the game. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school, and our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided that helped them coach our kids to the highest level. At Huddle, we believe in sports, and teams believe in Huddle. Join the 6 million users. Turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule a live web demo, and see their tables and their boards in action. It's probably one of the best purchases I ever made as an athletic director. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule that demo today. We also want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing, digital ticketing that offers more. Whether it's more support, more security, or more customization, Hometown is here to make the best solution for you. Go to hometownticketing.com. They're also going to supply you with a dedicated client success manager to provide hands-on support every step of the way. That's Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. We want to thank District One. Go to district1.com. That's WON. You're going to feel like you've won when you check out their custom uniforms, their on-time delivery, 20 business days or less, and their one-at-a-time replacement program. You're never going to have to buy a full set of uniforms when you just need one or two replacements. Go to district1.com. Click on the Team Gear button. You'll get a free quote. District1.com. We want to thank Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com. That's snapraise.com. Check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you do your job better. If you're looking for a fundraising platform, stop. SnapRaise is hands down the best you'll find. But there's also Snap Store, Snap Connect, Snap Manage, and a whole lot more. You can find it all at snapraise.com. We want to say thanks to one of our partners, Vital Signs Wall of Fame. You know, they're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards for all your teams, for all the events, or your school's Hall of Fame, or if you just want to tell more compelling stories, go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Let them help you bring your school's legacy to life. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. We want to say thanks to Gipper. Go to Gipper.com. Start creating world-class content for your school's social media channel. You can do it in seconds on any device. You don't need any design experience. That's Gipper.com. And we want to thank Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you're really missing out. Athletic directors usually only hear from the complainers, the 2% that want to gripe about everything. Athletic surveys will connect you with that 2%, but they'll also connect you with the 98% that love and support your program. And that's a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking to a frustrated parent or your principal or your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. Let them put together a custom survey for you. That's athleticsurveys.com. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. We've got a friend of the show. We've got a regular contributor. If you listen to the podcast, the name Lauren Evans is familiar. Lauren's a regular part of our Wednesday Wisdom team. She is an enterprise account executive for Snap, one of our great sponsors. Also has quite a background in athletics, least of which, professional athlete overseas. Lauren, always great to see you. What do you have for our listeners today on Tech Tuesday?
Yeah, thanks for having me again. Really wanted to hop on today to talk about one of our newer platforms that's going to be coming out very soon. It's called Snap Sponsor. So this is actually something that we created, this platform, because we heard consistently from athletic directors, athletic leaders, that they have issues, managing, trying to get sponsors. And we essentially created a marketplace that's going to help athletic directors, group leaders with that. So just to kind of touch on a few things that we heard, they don't have time to go out and get sponsors. We know athletic directors are probably one of the busiest people in athletics. They have so many things going on. So, sometimes the last thing they have time for is to go door to door trying to get sponsorships. Oftentimes too, if they do have sponsors, they really will lose track of, hey, when is that payment due? Trying to keep track as well of different contracts and what they have going on. And really, fundraising is great. And here at Snap, we have a big, that's a big part of our business, fundraising. But sometimes when you fundraise, you do it around season. So maybe you only do fundraising for a team, once or twice a year. But now with sponsorships in our platform, we really want to help those different programs get those sponsorships and that money coming in throughout the entire year. So like I said, this is a newer platform for us. We actually do have, a pretty full wait list right now. So a lot of interest and stuff going on there. And we're really just trying to work through that wait list, make sure everything is perfect as it can be, and then really get it out there to kind of everyone who is interested. So it's really going to be a cool platform. I like to think of it as like a Facebook marketplace for sponsorships. If you guys are familiar with Facebook Marketplace, I know I always post everything on there. So you're really going to be able to, manage, organize, and even help get those sponsorships, whether it's you're going to have a QR code that's going to be able to have a business go directly into the platform, or even within our platform, sending that out to those different businesses or sharing it on social media. And then the cool part about it too is we actually have our own warehouse where we're going to help design your banners, design and print your signs, ship it out to you, whether it's stadium stickers as well along the steps. So really trying to take the hands-off aspect of sponsorship and just make it easier for athletic directors, and to hopefully give them back a little bit of time while also getting them some additional revenue. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. So essentially too, if you have those really big ticket items, let's say you have to replace your your stadium screen, that can be upwards of 50K, 100K, right? So how can we help those programs really get that big chunk of change? And I really think sponsorship is going to be that additional, step in the right direction to help them get kind of those big ticket items.
Yeah, and again, we'll do this once again at the end, but you mentioned it's a new platform. It's not fully out there, but you already have a waiting list. So for somebody who's listening, what's the best way they can find out more and get themselves on that wait list?
Yeah, so they can either reach out directly to me, of course, as always, but through our website, we have a section directly for Snap Sponsor where they can go click, get a little bit more information. And then they just fill out kind of the basic info, what program are you part of? What's your area, your zip code, state? And then from there, fill that wait list out. You'll get, connected to the wait list, sent an automatic email saying like, hey, you're going to be one of the first people kind of thing. And then from there, like I said, we have a whole team actually set up for sponsor now. to really get through that wait list, to make sure everything's perfect. And we really encourage the feedback and the honesty because we want that platform to be, like I said, kind of as perfect as we can get it. So essentially, it's going to help, the ADs and really make their lives easier.
You talked about it at the beginning. It's the sponsorship program for any high school, public, private, is so critical. ADs are always looking for additional sources of funding. Is this platform, and I know it's not quite operational yet, but you're getting that waiting list. Is that part of the program where SNAP will actually help connect sponsors with athletic directors?
Yeah, it's a great question. And like you said, it's not fully out yet, and we're still trying to figure out, what's going to be the best method of everything. But I think long-term goal really is to get as many schools, as many businesses on the platform. And then from there, we potentially could have the option to go to, those big corporations, those national brands and say, hey, look, we have all of these schools, all of these potential assets for you across the country. What can we kind of work out? And then from there, those corporations are going to be able to get into areas potentially that they've never been in before. Kind of talking, about that as well. I believe there's going to be a feature where, you can even as a business search by zip code. So, let's say I do a lot of business in one zip code, but, I really want to get into an area that I haven't really been in before, or maybe I am in there, but I have, lower sales in that area. So, being able to not only as an athletic director, get everything out there, but from the business perspective as well, coming into the platform, really grow the business and get into different areas that maybe they've never been in before.
Okay, no, it sounds really cool. Now, as you know, I retired a few years ago, after COVID. I think as a lot of tech oriented companies were really coming into vogue, probably because of COVID. Since I've retired and done this podcast, I've become a little more tech savvy, but I know there's a lot of ADs out there that are kind of tech averse, worried about how hard this is going to be. So can you talk to that AD who's listening right now about the ease of using the whole Snap platform?
Yeah, and that's a great point. I want to say too, I think you're pretty good at doing the tech stuff. So you can do this podcast. I mean, you got to edge up on a lot of people, but no, and that's one thing across Snap is we try to make all of our platforms as easy as possible, as less clicks as possible. That's something that we really, put a lot of time and effort into thinking about. It's going to be the same thing for sponsor, setting up your different sponsorship groups, putting in your assets. There's even going to be a feature too that I didn't mention where, let's say, for example, we're on a softball field. You want to put a banner in right field. So you, as an athletic director, are going to be able to actually take a picture of where that potential banner could be. So then once a business comes in, they can see exactly where and what they're going to be purchasing as an asset. So we're really trying to make it as easy for, athletic directors and for businesses coming in, right? We want the businesses coming in to have a really seamless and easy way into purchasing them. So you guys as athletic directors can ultimately earn more revenue, but it's going to be super easy. I can't stress that enough. It's a really cool platform, and I can't wait to kind of come back on here again eventually when it's fully live and ready to kind of give you some updates on what we've learned and how great it's working. But one thing that I want to talk about too, as far as the ease of everything, with Snap, we take a lot of pride in having, fully built out teams to help with, the sales aspect, of course, what I do, the onboarding, the coaching aspect of it. We have a full support team for every product that we have that you can really call in or email in at any time that you want. So there's always going to be someone with you every step of the way to kind of help you out, answer your questions, and make it kind of as easy as we possibly can.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. And again, for our listeners, as an athletic director, our coaches use the fundraising aspect, Snap Raise, with great success. And I can attest that the customer service was just outstanding. Lauren, one more time, if one of our listeners wants to find out more about this program or SNAP, or just reach out to you and pick your brain, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me via email. It's lauren.evans, so lauren.evans at snapraise.com. Or you can just shoot me a text or call me 813-527-4202. I can really answer your questions or guide you in the right direction. And then if you're interested in kind of getting set up for this SNAP sponsor waitlist, just simply go to our website, snapraise.com, and you'll see there's a whole section just for a SNAP sponsor that you can go on to join the wait list. And then you'll kind of get put into that whole process.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Lauren Evans, Enterprise Account Executive for SNAP Raise. Thanks so much for coming on Tech Tuesday, and all the best with the rest of the summer.
Yeah, thank you.
For our listeners, we do this every single week, and we upload the Zoom recordings to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We appreciate you listening. Come back next Tuesday for another great tech tip, and just about every day on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Before we go, we do want to give a shout out to all of our great sponsors. We'll start with Snap Mobile. We use Snap as a fundraiser with a number of our programs at my school, and it was just great. You really can't go wrong. Vital Signs Wall of Fame. You're looking for a great way to display your school record boards, your school's Hall of Fame, or just tell more compelling stories. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Gipper. If you are not on social media promoting your teams, promoting your athletes, you are missing the boat. Go to Gipper.com. They'll show you how to do it. Mention the podcast. You'll get a nice discount. SidelineInteractive.com. You've heard me mention before the Sideline Interactive Indoor Score Tables, probably one of the best purchases I ever made. Go to SidelineInteractive.com for more information. Hudl. As a football coach, I used Hudl. As an AD, we were a Hudl school. Go to Hudl.com. Find out all the things that they can do for your athletic program. Athletic surveys. At my school, we use surveys for just about everything, for kids, coaches, parents, you name it. And the information that comes back on those surveys, it's almost always positive, but it helps you evaluate and improve your program. Go to athleticsurveys.com to find out more. Home Campus is the exclusive information management platform for the podcast. It's also the official platform for the Florida High School Athletic Association. I used Home Campus every day as an AD. You should be using it too. Go to homecampus.com to get signed up. District 1, one of the leaders in custom uniforms and one-at-a-time replacements. You'll never have to order a full set when you just need one or two sets. Go to District 1, that's WON.com. And Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. Hometown's the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. I don't think I need to say anything more. Go to hometownticketing.com to get signed up. Thanks again for listening to this episode of Tech Tuesday. We'll see you just about every day on the Educational AD Podcast.